Ladies and gentlemen, we are only a few days away from the conclusion to Pluribus Season 1, and I've been watching a lot of reviews of the show. I've been enjoying the show as a fan, and I've noticed a very common trend within the Pluribus community that I wanted to talk about. And off the bat, I'm sure you guys, the ones who create this toxicity, are going to dislike this video. That's fine. But I wanted to talk about this because I do find it genuinely interesting. I don't think there has been a show as contentious as Pluribus has been so far. And I think a lot of that has to do with the extremes that people are giving in the comments and just the overall fan community on X and all of that. But before I even talk about the toxicity of the fan community and all of that stuff, I want to talk about the contention that is people's opinions on Pluribus. I'm not here to defend the show. I'm not here to defend the people that shit on the show either. I just want to talk about this. And the reason I bring this up is a friend of the channel of mine, Dan's Reviews, posted a video of episode 8, where he gave it a 0 out of 10. And I was watching that thinking, and this isn't about Dan. This goes to my point. The only reason I'm bringing up Dan, if you're watching this, I love you. It's nothing against you at all. It's just, it brought up an interesting point, and I thought it would be an interesting topic for a video. Whereas he gave that a 0 out of 10, I gave that like a 9.5, 10 out of 10. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, that's really interesting because I've been noticing this trend of people either love it or they hate it. And I don't think there's been a show that has been so extreme one way, shape, or form. Because like for instance, I loved episode 8. I thought that was the best episode of the show so far. I thought it was a fantastic episode. But I could also see how people like Dan or other people online hated that episode. I could see it because I'm not saying that there's a reason for it specifically. It just depends on what kind of show you're into. And this is where the toxicity comes in, which I think is absolute fucking bullshit. Just because someone has an opinion that that episode was boring or that they didn't enjoy it doesn't mean they're stupid. It doesn't mean that their intelligence isn't right. It doesn't mean that they don't like slow burn shows. It's a very interesting dichotomy that I'm seeing online where when someone says they dislike an episode of the show, people are just so up in arms to defend Vince Gilligan and be like, no, you're a fucking idiot. You stupid. Why would you ever think that? You must have TikTok brain, all because you don't like an episode of art. That makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry. I actually think that discourse where there is a polar opposite is the best thing, where someone could hate an episode and someone could love an episode, and we could talk about that in a fun way, because guess what? It's reflecting with people on one extreme or the other. And I think that's interesting. And I think this has been a problem with everything lately, not just Pluribus. This has been a problem with U.S. politics. This has been a problem with people who have a divide on any sort of disagreement or anything. It's either your side or fuck you. I'm going to, you know what I mean? It's either your side or you're dead. You know what I mean? And that's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. That's just fucking bull. I don't know how we've got here. And if you are watching this video and you were ready to quick and type, I know you're not going to listen to this. You're just going to dislike this video. But what is wrong with you? I don't understand that. I'm sorry. This is just my way of venting this out because I do think it's very interesting how people can take these extremes. People could take someone loving this episode and they'll shit on you about it, or people could take you disliking this episode and people will shit on you about it so far. But I think that's what's interesting. And I don't think there's been a show to be so divisive. And when I say that, I mean, on one hand, it's divisive where it's how it's received. Like I said, some people love it, hate it. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the premise is so strong, but the way it's being executed is slow. And I understand that, though I don't personally agree with it. I can see that argument for sure. But that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin of that is the people who think that this premise is being explored really well and really well thought out and fun. And I think both can exist. I've had my problems with a couple episodes of the show for the reason I think the general consensus has had a lot of problems with it. There is a difference, and this is what I wanted to talk about, because when you have people saying they don't like it and then people in the comments are like, fuck you, you're an idiot, no. Two things can exist at once. This episode can be slow in a wrong way. Not slow and I don't like, oh, there's no explosions, this is a bad episode. That's not what people are saying when they're shitting on this show. They're saying that it is like really slow, like not building towards anything slow. That being said, I know people are quick to defend that in the sense that they're going to be like, oh, but this is a Vince Gilligan show. It's going to get better. It's going to see itself through. And I agree with that. But that doesn't mean you have to be shitting on people so badly over that. Maybe it is possible that episode 9 is going to redeem a lot of the slowness that has happened in Pluribus at large. And honestly, this is why I always say there's different flavors of ice cream. Just because someone hated this episode or just because someone liked this episode doesn't mean either one of them is inherently wrong. We all have different ways of perceiving art. And I find it genuinely fascinating. I know I keep going back to that point. I find it genuinely fascinating that people want to like cancel or shut that opinion down just because they're willing to defend someone. I think it's crazy. We're seeing that in United States politics. If someone likes Trump, you are shit on. If someone likes Biden, you are shit on. You know what I mean? Why did we get there? Many years ago, many decades ago, it was never like that. People were able to have civil discourse in a way that was thought-provoking, engaging, and yeah, maybe it didn't really change your mind, but at least you were able to have that civil discourse that moved the country forward, that moved art and medium forward. Why did we lose sight of that? Is it because of like things like TikTok? Is it because of things like Reddit? Is it because people are so extreme nowadays? Because things have become so radicalized? I don't understand it. Maybe I'm on the older side of this where I'm looking at it and like, how is this where everything is going? But then again, I know that's not the case because I know people older than me that are more radicalized than me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about this in a more general sense because it's not just with Pluribus, but in terms of a TV show, this show has created such a point of contention that I've never seen in the TV landscape. Everyone is toxic in the audience for this. And it's crazy. I get it. You loved Breaking Bad. You loved Better Call Saul. I did too. Better Call Saul is my favorite show of all time. But like, people reviewing the show, people talking about it online are expressing their opinions. And honestly, a lot of their opinions are in line with a lot of people's opinions. But there's always those few people in the comments trying to shut you down for that. It makes no sense. And I guarantee you, like I said in the beginning on this video, you're all coming out of the woodwork for this one. Maybe not. Maybe I'll be lucky and no one will. I don't know. But it is just interesting to me. I don't understand it. If you want to try to explain it to me. But it doesn't make sense. Two things can exist. You could perceive this art as incredible, or you could perceive it as being terrible. Just like how I thought this episode was like a 10 and Dan thought this episode was a 0. There's no right answer at all. One person can perceive it differently than the next. That doesn't mean either opinion should be shit on aggressively. I just don't understand that. I'm sorry. This has become, it's not a long video, but this has become an 8 or so minute rant session about Pluribus's Toxicity. And it's a shame because I do think it's a wonderful production that, yeah, is slow, but that's okay. I think that's okay. And that's, honestly, that's for some people and it isn't for other people. It doesn't make anyone wrong. That's all. Just wanted to talk about this. And Dan, if you're watching this video again, I hope you don't think I was trying to just subject you out, but it goes to the point of the overall video. I love you. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that in a bad way at all. It's just, it was thought-provoking to me, and I thought it would make for a thought-provoking conversation. Anyway, with all that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts if you're not shitting on me already in the comments below. And with all that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching this video, and until the next one, I'll talk to you later. Peace out.